How you doing tonight? 2 years of RYSE! It's a special night for everybody here, but it's a special night for me, and I'm not going to take up too much of your time. But the reason I'm here tonight to be the special guest ring announcer for this huge matchup is because Super Hentai and Brandon K perhaps could be the reason that I am in this business and the reason that I am still in this business today. You see, it was about 20 years ago, January of 1999, when 9-year-old Nick Lendl was just a wrestling fan watching Monday Night Raw and Nitro, and I didn't know anything about independent wrestling. I'd only seen what I had watched on TV, what I read in the magazines, but it was one day after school that I got a phone call that actually changed my life forever, and it was from my best friend Brian, and he called me and told me that at his sister's work, this restaurant in Pittsburgh, the North Park Lounge Clubhouse, they were going to have a wrestling show. They were going to move the bar area, get rid of the stools, and get a wrestling ring right in the middle there. And of course I had to be there because, you know, I had watched all these wrestling matches, and I had been to a couple WWE events, and of course that's what I expected. So when I got there, I saw the traditional indie setting. You know, you have the couple rows of chairs, the short entranceway, and I didn't know what to expect. And then I saw a couple of the wrestlers come out, and there was this tan, long-haired blonde guy that all the women were screaming for the entire show. And it was at intermission that young man came out and brought me and my friends into the ring. And for an 8-year-old kid that had watched wrestling for years, that was the biggest thing that could happen to me. I was inside of a wrestling ring. I stood on top of the turnbuckles here. I ran the ropes. I got my picture taken. And then I left that show and never knew what happened to that company, that wrestler. I just went on my merry way. But I will tell you this. For the next 15 years, until I stepped foot into a wrestling ring again, that was the greatest moment of my life. I stood in a wrestling ring, I got the pictures taken, and whether I was 8 years old, 20 years old, I showed everybody those pictures. And until I stood in a wrestling ring again, the picture that was on my nightstand, don't tell my wife this, the picture that was on my nightstand was me and that long-haired blonde wrestler from 1999. So fast forward all these years later, I'm in the business, I'm a ring announcer, working for a few different companies. And I see this Throwback Thursday post on Facebook. And it was that long-haired blonde guy dressed in a security outfit working as an extra for Monday Night Raw. And I said, oh my God, that's the guy. That's the guy from the show. That's the guy that took the pictures with me. That's the guy that brought me in the ring. And I still didn't put two and two together. But then I saw over and over all these people sharing this post on this same guy's Facebook page. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. That guy was Brandon K. And I never met Brandon K until a benefit show a few years ago. And this was before I had connected the dots to everything. So when I got into this business, there's some old school thoughts and some veterans in the back that were whispering a couple of my shows a couple months in, and they didn't think that there was any place in the locker room for a young punk kid with all these wrestlers that have been wrestling for years. So for the first couple months, I didn't change in the locker room. I stood outside until there was a group of veterans that pulled me aside and told me that I belonged in that dressing room. And I've never had a problem ever since, and one of those guys in that group was Super Hentai. So I'm proud to say I'm humbled. This is such a special, surreal moment for me, because 20 years later, almost to the day, I'm going to ring announce Brandon K. And I'm so excited for this. It's come full circle. I know you guys don't want to hear me talk anymore. You didn't come to hear me talk. So let's get this match going. It's 2 decades in the making. Are you ready for this match? The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, making his way to the ring, trained in Hayabusa, Japan, weighing in at 190 pounds, mass aggression, Super Hentai. California, weighing in at 197 pounds, first class, Lendl.